Harry Chen had always imagined first contact would involve government officials, scientists, and carefully planned protocols. He never thought it would happen in the cargo bay of his salvage ship, the Rusty Phoenix, while he was eating reheated noodles in his underwear. The vessel that attached itself to his hull was unlike anything in the database. Obsidian black with veins of luminescent purple running across its surface, it pulsed like a living heart. Harry's scanners went haywire, displaying readings that made no sense. The ship existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, its mass fluctuating between 17 tons and infinite. "This is Captain Harry Chen of the independent salvager Rusty Phoenix," he transmitted, hastily pulling on pants. "You've, docked without permission. State your intentions." The response came not through his comms, but directly into his mind, a voice like crystal wind chimes and distant thunder. "You are summoned to the presence of Queen Zerathia of the Luminari Empire. Refusal is not an option, but neither is harm. Come peacefully, Harry Chen." The airlock cycled open before he could respond. 3 figures emerged, each standing nearly 8 feet tall, their bodies composed of what appeared to be living starlight contained in vaguely humanoid shapes. They wore armor that shifted colors like oil on water, and their faces, if they could be called faces, were elegant arrangements of light and shadow. "Okay," Harry muttered, raising his hands. "Peaceful it is." They escorted him through a corridor that defied physics. The walls showed glimpses of nebulae, ancient cities, and places that had no name in human languages. Harry's mind struggled to process it all, settling on a mild headache and the strange certainty that he was walking through folded space. The throne room was vast beyond measure. Queen Zerathia sat upon a seat carved from a collapsed star, her form more substantial than her guards, almost solid, with features that resembled a beautiful, terrible combination of human and something utterly alien. Her skin shimmered with galaxies in miniature, and her eyes held the depth of cosmic voids. Beside her stood a young woman who took Harry's breath away. She appeared almost human, with skin that glowed faintly silver and hair that cascaded down her back like liquid moonlight. Her eyes were violet, deep and intelligent, studying him with an expression caught between curiosity and resignation. "I am Honey," she said, her voice melodic but sad. "Daughter of Zerathia, Princess of the Luminari." "Harry," he managed, "pleased to meet you." Queen Zerathia rose, and reality seemed to bend around her. "Harry Chen, you have been selected for a great honor. My people face extinction. We are beings of pure energy, evolved beyond physical form millennia ago. But we have learned that evolution without balance leads to entropy. We fade, becoming less real with each generation. We need genetic diversity, new patterns to stabilize our quantum matrices." Harry blinked. "I'm a salvager, not a scientist. I think you've got the wrong guy." "You misunderstand," the Queen continued. "We do not need your knowledge. We need your genes, your chaotic, beautiful, messy biology. Humanity is young, wild, unpredictable, everything we've lost. You will marry my daughter and provide her with an heir. This child will be the first of a new generation, bridging our kinds, ensuring our survival." "Wait, what?" Harry looked at Honey, whose expression had become even more melancholic. "You can't just, doesn't she get a say in this?" Zerathia's laugh was like solar winds. "Of course she does. Honey has chosen to accept this burden for her people. Have you not, daughter?" Honey nodded slowly. "I have studied your species extensively, Harry Chen. You are adequate." "Adequate," Harry repeated flatly. "Well, that's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me." A flicker of something, amusement, annoyance, crossed Honey's face. "I meant no offense. By our standards, all humans are primitive, but you specifically show markers of creativity, adaptability," and she paused, consulting a holographic display only she could see, "an unusual resistance to cosmic radiation. Your salvage work has exposed you to quantum anomalies. Your DNA has adapted. You are compatible." Harry ran his hands through his hair. "Look, I'm flattered, I think, but I can't just marry someone I've met 5 minutes ago and, produce an heir to save an alien civilization. That's insane. The alternative, Zarathia said, her voice dropping to something dangerous, is the extinction of the oldest sentient species in this galaxy. We have existed for 4 billion of your years. We have seeded life on 1,000 worlds, protected developing civilizations from cosmic threats, preserved knowledge that would drive human minds to madness. And now we need help. Your help. The weight of her words settled on Harry like a physical thing. He looked at Honey again, really looked at her. Behind her otherworldly beauty, he saw exhaustion, duty, and something that might have been fear. "What does Honey want?" he asked quietly. The princess seemed startled by the question. "What I want is irrelevant. I am." "No," Harry interrupted. "What do you want? Not as a princess, not as a duty-bound daughter, you." Honey was silent for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. "I want to see the sunrise on a physical world. I want to feel rain. I want to read the ancient earth books I've studied and understand why your poets wrote about heartbreak. I want," she trailed off. "To be real," Harry finished. She nodded. Harry took a deep breath. "Okay, I'll do it, but on conditions." Zarathia's form flared with surprise. "You dare negotiate with?" "Mom," Honey said sharply, and Harry realized it was the first time she'd addressed the Queen as anything other than Your Majesty. "Let him speak." Harry held up a finger. "First, this is a real marriage, not a breeding arrangement. Honey and I take time to actually know each other. Second, we live on my ship or somewhere neutral, not here. Third, if we have a kid, they get to choose their own path. No predetermined destiny." "Unacceptable," Zarathia began, but Honey placed a hand on her mother's arm. "Acceptable," the princess said firmly. "These terms are reasonable." The Queen looked between them, and for the first time Harry saw something like approval in her cosmic gaze. "Very well. You have 6 of your months to court. Then the union must be consummated, or our agreement is void." Life aboard the Rusty Phoenix changed dramatically. Honey moved in with a single bag that somehow contained an entire library, a quantum computer, and what Harry could only describe as concentrated starlight in a jar. The first week was awkward. Honey didn't understand human customs, and Harry had to explain things like privacy, personal space, and why he couldn't just walk around naked. "But you're simply flesh arranged in a particular configuration," she said, genuinely confused. "Why does the sight of it cause embarrassment?" "It's cultural," Harry explained, face red. She experimented with being physical, eating human food, which she found unnecessarily complex but fascinating. Sleeping, which she didn't technically need but found oddly pleasant. And experiencing emotions tied to a body rather than pure thought. Harry taught her to play cards, to laugh at terrible jokes, to appreciate the beauty of a sunset through a viewport. Honey taught him about the history of galaxies, showed him how to perceive in multiple dimensions, and helped him upgrade his ship with technology that turned the Rusty Phoenix into something that could outrun military vessels. One night, 3 months into their arrangement, Harry found Honey standing at the main viewport, tears streaming down her face. "What's wrong?" he asked, alarmed. "Nothing is wrong," she said, smiling through the tears. "I'm experiencing sadness and joy simultaneously because we passed by a nebula where one of my ancestors was born, and it's beautiful, and I can feel that beauty rather than just perceive it intellectually. Harry, this is wonderful." He stood beside her and slowly, carefully took her hand. She didn't pull away. "I think I'm falling in love with you," she whispered. "Yeah," Harry said softly, "me too." When they informed Queen Zarathia that they wanted to move forward with the union, on their own terms, out of genuine affection, the Queen surprised them both. "I knew you would," she said, her voice warmer than before. "I chose you not just for your genetics, Harry Chen, but because I researched your history, Every time you found survivors in your salvage operations, you shared your supplies even when it cost you profit. You are kind in a universe that often isn't. I wanted that for my daughter. The wedding was a simple affair aboard the Rusty Phoenix, with the crew of a nearby station serving as witnesses. Honey wore a dress of woven light that gradually became silk as she committed to physical form. Harry wore his best, only, suit. Their first child, a daughter they named Aurora, was born 11 months later. She could shift between energy and matter at will, had Harry's stubborn streak and Honey's intelligence, and according to Zerathia, radiated a quantum signature that could indeed stabilize the Luminari genome. But more importantly, she was loved. Harry held his daughter while Honey rested, watching Aurora's tiny hands grasp at starlight only she could see, and realized that sometimes the universe brought you exactly what you needed, even if you never knew you needed it. "Hey, Honey," he called softly. "MMM," she responded half asleep. "Thank you for choosing adequate." She laughed, the sound like music. "Thank you for making me real." Outside the viewport, stars wheeled in their ancient dance, and the Rusty Phoenix sailed on through the cosmos, carrying not just a salvager and a princess, but a family that bridged two civilizations, held together by something as old as the universe itself: love, freely given.